Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's a Saturday. Feels weird. Doesn't feel like a Wednesday. Feels like a Saturday. That's all right. Welcome to a little bit of weekend whiskey trivia here at what is almost exactly the midway point of Sydney Whisky Forum 2021. And I want to do, first and foremost, a big shout out and thank you to the Victorian government for plunging that state into lockdown just in time to lock everyone at home for tonight's episode 2 hours ago. So thank you, everyone, and welcome. My name is Scott Fitzsimons, and I look after all the whiskey and spirits here at the Oak Barrel. And for my sins, I'm also a member of the Whisky Roundtable podcast, which we have enlisted this week to give the weekend edition of the Whisky Forum a bit of a jovial flavour. We have in the top right corner, at least in my top right corner, Alex Dahlenburg, Whisky Culture. Can we say where you're from at the moment?
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. From Hickson House, from all sorts of things, bars and groups, distills and copper and barrels and all sorts of fun. How are you?
I'm super well, thank you very much. It's been a big week in the building a distillery and bar world.
Excellent.
Yeah, all well,
Excellent.
Thank you.
Shout out on to the furthest away from me, to Andy Milne, looking very Bondi's, even though it is 3 p.m. on Saturday. He's the one that managed to find a little bit of sun somewhere. All of us are plunged in darkness. Milne, how are you? Go for a swim this morning?
I did. I must say I'm hoping to improve my gusto because I swam too far and I'm absolutely knackered. So I will hopefully improve gusto as we keep going.
And of course, Matt Bailey, who is directly below me from the Scotch Malt Whisky Society and fresh from the march in Melbourne today, mate. Did you get your little placard up?
No, mate.
If you are thinking of going to a protest today, don't be an idiot. Stay at home and do this instead.
Yeah, this is far more fun than a protest.
Just drink whiskey and chill the fuck out.
Yeah, exactly. So, whiskey trivia. What's going on? I have to admit, Matt Bailey and Milne have sort of driven tonight's event. So take me through it. What's going to happen in the next hour or so?
So, Scotty, we're just going to put our feet up, right?
Bloody oath.
Yeah. All right, let's just kick back. Take it away, gents.
Milne and I came up with this idea to come up with some questions to ask our audience. And for those who are tuning in alongside with the Whisky Forum, and I thought it'd be an opportunity for us to bring the roundtable crew in and ask some really nerdy whiskey questions. And the person who gets the most correct, I'm going to send a tasting kit out to. So we've got these tasting kits that we're working on at the moment. I'm happy to sponsor a kit here. Are these these tasting kits that look a bit like this? I'll show it up on the screen now. It's a full whiskey and chocolate tasting kit. We're making them in September. It's for our next month's virtual gathering. It's a $139 set, and I'm going to send one out to the winner. So the actual tasting's on 25th of September. It's just a virtual.
Send it to me.
Well, if you win the quiz, I mean, but you already know the question.
Am I allowed to?
No, you know the questions already. It's a $139 tasting set. 5 whiskeys paired with 5 chocolates from the Mad Chocolate Scientist, and you can actually get 2 of each chocolate, so it's 10 in the box all up. 10 chocolates, 5 whiskeys, all in a big tasting kit. And we're going to give this away to the winner. And all you have to do is wherever you watch this, whether it be on Facebook, whether it be through Society, whether it be through Oak Barrel, whether it be through Andy's Bondi Connections, Alex's other Whisky Culture. I mean, wherever you find this stream, even if it's on YouTube or something, which isn't, I don't think is a thing. But if you do watch this anywhere, the first to answer will come up in our comment section here, and we'll keep. And Scotty's going to keep tally of who wins what. So,
and I'm
Andy,
just on that. Just quickly, I'm going to put the chat overlay up here, so when we do ask the questions, we will see who comes up there first. So it's going to be nice and fair to who wins. So thank you, Matt, for donating for the first prize tonight. I'd like to step in and use the second prize. The last prize. So if you come last here, we're going to give a weekend away with Matt Bailey if you come last.
That's the last prize. I mean, if you get every single question wrong, that's it. You have to endure it.
That makes me so competitive to win.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
So To enter, there's literally, you don't have to enter, you just answer in the questions. So I want to say quick g'day to James Finnegan, to Daniel, to Dram Talk, to Whiskey is My Jam, we've already commented. Just jump in, jump out, whatever. It's nice and easy, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all you have to do is just throw it in the comments. Throw it in the comments.
Hello to any of the Barrel House or Duke of Clarence team watching. I hope you're all ready to roll with these questions.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay.
If someone from Barrel House wins, do you have to buy the whole rest of the team packs as well, Alex?
No.
Yeah.
We're good at sharing our toys.
I'll send you an invoice. Okay. So let's kick off, shall we? Andy, you kick off. You start with the first 5. Each of us are going to ask 5 questions. There's 20 questions all up, and you pick 5 out of the list, and we'll keep tabs on who's asking what, and just put your answers in the comments section, folks. I'm giving away a $140 whiskey and chocolate pack for this, so go hard.
Go hard or go home.
Exactly.
Well, you are already home, so go hard and stay home.
Go hard at home.
That's what I meant.
Easy.
Okay.
All right. Kicking off. So, first question. Who
Easy,
is
Tiger.
the only woman in history to own and manage a distillery in the 20th century?
That's a good question. No, Alex. You already know the questions. You can't answer these. These are for our,
No, but I
these are
knew
for
this
the
question before I saw it.
So the first person to pop their answer in the comment section, you get a point straight away.
You're going to have a time limit too, because I don't want anyone Googling this shit.
Dan.
Redraw.
Redraw.
Could we give it to Miranda Marie just because Dan was first?
Dan, 1 point.
Yeah, Dan, that's a point. Sorry. We're keeping track, don't worry.
The key word there was 20th century team.
So who is Bessie? Tell me about Bessie.
So, Bessie Williamson. So she was the owner and manager of Lefroy.
And which century was the 20th century?
1900s.
Yeah, the 20th one was the 20th century. Yeah.
I'm gonna, because we might get into tiebreak situations, I'm gonna keep a few records here. So technically Dan Woolley gets a point, but because Mark, Teague and Daniel was second, I'm gonna give them just a note. So if it comes to a tiebreak, I know they were in the top 3.
Got it.
I like this.
Because this is a very scientific scoring program. And as we all know, the greatest sporting event of the year happens tonight at midnight, the Lomond 24 hours. I'm actually using the scoring system from Lomond tonight on this. Good. Yeah.
I mean, how are you going to watch the South African rugby game at the same time, though? That's the problem.
Multiple screens.
And welcome back to the Sports
If you think I watched Lomond
Sports table.
one screen.
My name is Alex, and I've just glazed over. Next question.
Take us away, Andy.
Combine that with Saturday footy. It's a busy day for us.
But hold on. Let's maybe just say, so Bessie, she owned Lefroy, but also she was like essential in keeping the place afloat in post-war years. So she's a bit of a legend. And sometimes if you see the term Williamson or Williamstown on independently bottled whiskey, sometimes that's when you can't name Lefroy, it's a nod to Bessie. So not only was the owner, but has left her mark on the industry in a very, very big way.
One badass lady.
Yeah, and at a time where it was probably quite challenging to even do that. So, I mean, there's another one of the brands that I look after, the Mary Brizard. You know, she formed that company and wasn't allowed to even own the company. So whilst the company was hers and completely run by her, it was under her husband's name, because at the time women weren't even allowed to be, officially owners. So huge impact. Awesome. All right, number 2. What is the oldest continually operating distillery in the US?
That's a good question. In the US, just US.
Speyburn.
Yeah, so just in America, oldest is continuously operating.
Oh, it's in America.
Oh,
And
there's
there we
the
go,
answer.
Paul. Paul, we need to further
BT
clarification,
Telecom?
please.
That's a good, come on, we're gonna see this. Well, Bushmills isn't in the US. Sorry. Ooh. Yeah, look, it's been said now. It's been said. I think the first off the post there, which we can see in the comments. I mean, it kind of was Paul.
I'm going to give it to Paul. I'm going to give it to Paul, and then runner-up points to Mark and Dennis.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Michael, I agree with you.
And it is interesting because there is a little bit of a delay between. There's about 10 seconds between us and the comments coming through. So that's why I think it was Paul Daniel went a little bit early on the question, and then realised by the time that we'd actually finished saying what we could see is that is his thing. So I like it, but you jumped the gun. Who was Dennis? You said we're giving.
Yeah, it's just not. Yeah, it's been.
Paul and Mark gets one of those little because he came in.
Yeah. So I'm putting little stars behind people for these ones. So Mark's on 2 stars at the moment. Beauty.
All right,
Caleb.
I hope we are working in order of the questions as well, because that's how I'm copying and pasting things.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, let's do that.
I mean, I'm impressed. The selection of questions that Matt and I put together. From what I can read, Matt's contributed 2 questions.
They were very focused on South Trade.
I took out some of the dumb questions you put in, actually. So I've changed. I added 2, but I deleted about 8 and changed them up. You realize that, right?
I gave you variety. I gave you a canvas.
And they're all brain knowledge questions too.
This is a South Trade quiz, mate. And they can't ask how many litres of whiskey Bushmills makes. It's a dumb question. Okay.
I thought it was fascinating. So.
Shut up! You only know that stuff.
Hang on. All right, Milne. How many litres does Bushmill make?
In their peak, they were making 5 million gallons per annum.
Holy Toledo, Batman!
Yeah,
and
they were
litres.
Yeah, and they went from that to about 200. Yeah,
a lot of whiskey.
When you look at the demise, it's quite crazy. But credit to Matt, he did actually provide the answers to some of these questions, because there were things that I didn't bother researching. So I just wrote the question and then Matt answered them, which is thank you.
All right.
Alrighty.
Put your brand manager and brand ambassador hats on, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go.
Well, this next question has nothing to do with any of the brands. So go ahead, Andy. I had to put this one in to pick one of your dumb South Trade ones. Okay, go.
How many distilleries are currently producing whiskey on Islay? Key part.
A very crucial question there. Very crucial.
I'm liking this little delay of 5 seconds where we just get to ourselves before questions start popping up.
Mark! Oh, damn, Mark Teague. Well done. Mark Teague was first off the rank there. Came in just a millisecond in front of Daniel Martin. Paul, it's not 8, it's 9. Everyone who's saying 8 is out. James Finnegan, it's more than 5, and it's definitely not 12. Michael Sedgrove. So,
I'm loving the fact
that people.
These we can see these coming through, and there's no having to fight about who was first. The computer does the work. I'm loving it. So, go on. Name them.
Quick. Chris. Okay, this is where we put it to the team. So, starting from top left, and we'll go round. So everyone named 2, and Scott will name the
So Isla whiskey. So Scott first. So I'll start with Brookladdick.
Alex.
Which way are we going round?
Just pick a distillery.
Round. Oh, sorry. I thought you meant the island. Like
we're going to go
so I was like, so this is the list of where they all go.
East to west. That's
Kilhoman.
Way too geeky. What have you got?
Kilhoman. Yeah.
Kilhoman.
Yeah.
Ardbeg.
Bamor.
Lafroig.
Bunnahabhain.
Lagavulin.
Ardnahoe. What are we at?
Bamor.
I said Bamor.
We've got
Kalila.
Did someone say Brookladdy?
Kalila.
I said Brookladdy first.
Kalila. Yeah, sorry. Shit.
Yeah.
There's 9. Yep.
And there are more in works, but these are producing juice on the island at the moment.
That was the key word in that question. How many distilleries are currently producing whiskey on island?
And how many?
I think Mark said, we was producing. They haven't released anything, Mark, but yeah, you sort of point out that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
tried to break into Idaho when I was there. Not break in, but the distillery's closed. So
I toured it, but that's cool. It's a cool. It's
not
cool
as
setup.
cool as trying to break in.
I thought it was funny.
That
there was a couple that moved in on the opposite side of the road from the distillery, knowing that there was a distillery being made there, and complained to the council. Complained to the council about the noise of the distillery that they knew was being built when they moved in and bought the house. I just thought, it was a building site the day that you moved in. Like, you should be aware of that.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll say something quite funny just related to that, Andy, just real quickly. If you look up the reviews, I think it's for it's either like North British Distillery or
I've toured it.
Caledonian or something. Yeah, you toured North British Distillery, or it's one of those things like it's one of those grain distilleries like
Cameron
Bridge.
Because mine.
I think it's Cameron Bridge.
What?
If you look at the Google reviews for like Cameron Bridge, it's like 2 out of 5 stars, and there's all these negative reviews. And it's not because of the distillery; it's because there's a children's park next to the distillery, and they hate the smell of the bread. They call it the grain smell that wafts over the park, and all the parents are complaining about. Oh, my kids just want to use the swing, but it just smells like bread and grain there all day. It's horrible.
That's the best smell. I remember.
I know. It's great.
There was a town near. It was one of the bigger towns near where I grew up that makes a brand called Weetabix, which is the UK version of Wheat Bix. We just added an A in because we were first, and you just took it off. But every time, I got excited going to that town because as you drive in, you can just smell the wheat production, and it was the best smell ever. What kid doesn't want that at the playground?
Oh, I went to college on the sanitarium factory that does all the cereals, and driving. Oh no, not sanitary, sanitarium.
Wow,
less enjoyable.
So I used to drive
sanitary
into used to drive into the college there, but the smell of wheat bix being made is completely different to distillery, and I know it's probably more of the grain that they use, but I remember just probably because I had a shitty experience there, just the moment I smell wheat bix, I'm like, yep, no, can't do it anymore.
Oh wow, yeah.
Anyway, continue. Next question.
Great. Question number 4.
The film round.
Oh,
The film question. We say round. There's 2 questions
about
based on
buffalo
film.
meat.
Pet food factory. Oh, nice. The smell of burning cattle. What
Next question.
was the main distillery from the film Angel's Share? So there's one distillery that is the location where it was filmed.
I didn't know this one.
I thought the actual answer was a different distillery from what the answer is. But I'm probably mixing up. There's been a few whiskey films, and I'm probably mixing them up here.
They go and visit a distillery.
See, Mark's answer is what I thought it was.
No.
That's not the correct answer, though, Mark. Sorry. Apparently.
Nope.
Not Deanston, not Laddie, not...
They visit Deanston. They visit Deanston.
How sure are we on these answers?
That's the only one I wasn't entirely sure on, but I'm not the brand manager for it, so I don't know. Wow. This is a tough one.
Glengoyne would have been my one because Glengoyne is so close. It's been used as a set for so close to Glasgow. It's been used as a set for a lot of things.
Glengoyne does feature in the film.
Andy's stable?
It does start with a B. It is not Brookwoodic. It starts with a B.
And Andy looks after this bloody whiskey. And it's also a bloody good whiskey. It's like this whiskey is like the opposite of Speyburn. It's one of the best whiskies you can get out of Scotland. It really is.
It's not what you
and
said
has historically worked, or they used to work in a lot of vintages rather than age statements up until the past 3 or 4 years. A little bit like Glen Rothus used to work in vintages until moving across.
I liked that format.
There it is.
Dan Woolley in the lead.
I remember, I need to, so if anyone wants to type in Blair again, because I need to give 2 bonus stars to people.
Well, there's a point there that's got to go to Paul Field for Glengoyne. because it does feature in the film because that's where they go and taste.
Who won the last one? Who won the number of distilleries on Isla? Sorry, I'm just keeping track here.
So we've got points for Dan Woolley, Daniel, Mark T, Paul Leyland, and
we're good.
Paul Field. And then we had to give another bonus to Miranda Marie. So the bonus points I'm giving, they're used in tiebreakers, essentially. And then, Caleb Chan will give a bonus to as well.
So, Andy, you should ask the next question pretty much immediately after because it's part of the same question, sort of.
Yeah. But the fun fact, the film was directed by Ken Loach, and he visited various different distilleries for location shoots and sort of picked out. And when they arrived at Balblair, and you sort of come in from a hill, so you kind of overlook it before you go down to it and sort of look down into the distillery. And he said it was the most photogenic. He said if you had to picture, on camera, what is a distillery and what does, a quaint whiskey distillery in the middle of Scotland look like? He said this is exactly it. It's bloody beautiful. But in that same film, they go to Balblair to try and steal a cask of whiskey that's due to be auctioned. What was the famous cask from that film said to have contained?
Speyburn.
Whiskey?
Maybe it was like gin. Maybe it was like a barrel-aged gin that everyone got really excited about.
Can I don't know. Oh, there it is. Damn it. Dan Woolley again. I was about to give a clue about saying it was a distillery within a distillery on Isla, kind of clue. Or maybe it's had a relationship to Lagavulin kind of clue here. But I don't need to now because Dan Woolley, you've got it again. It's yes, you are right. It is Malt Mill.
Tell me about Malt Mill.
So Malt Mill was produced. I always mix them up. It was produced at Lagavulin, was it not?
Yep. It was a distillery inside Lagavulin.
So Lefroy was one of the most popular whiskies on Isla at the time, and the guys at Lagavulin wanted to basically try and copy their spirit style, and so they created Malt Mill as a distillery to replicate Lefroy, unsuccessfully, and it didn't last long at all, and was destroyed and completely put to bits, and the rumor is that there is a small number of bottles in the public domain. I've seen one bottle that says Malt Mill, whether it's true.
Which was new. It was new make that bottle as well, wasn't it?
No, this was a whiskey.
Oh, right, okay. I've seen that bottle of new make, Malt Mill new make.
So there's Malt Mill new make at the distillery at Lagavulin. So that's there. I've seen a actual bottled whiskey of it once in someone's private collection.
Hey, YouTube's in.
And then there was a number of minis, and I think who's the Serge from Whiskey Fun, I think is believed to have had or have tried.
I've read that review.
The minis.
Yeah.
Again, and I think that was they were unofficial minis, so they was independently bottled, and it was sort of people that had taken the spirit while they were working there. So, yeah, it's one of those sort of urban myth whiskies that isn't an urban myth, but the reality is that most of what you'd ever find probably doesn't exist.
As we head on, I think I'll take the next. Because you threw it in my lap, Scotty, so I'll take on the next range of questions if you want. Before I do, I just want to remind everyone that person who wins the most points, and Scotty's doing all the tallying here, will win a $139 tasting set that I've proudly sponsored from the Scotch Malt Whisky Society, the world's biggest whiskey club, and I'm happy to give that set away. The tasting is on the 25th of September, so please keep your answers rolling in. This is great. So let's move on to the next one. I think.
Proudly brought to you by our sponsors. The Scotch Malt Whisky Society.
I'm happy to throw a prize in. Anytime.
I'm waiting on my check too.
You're very welcome. I'll send you the check in the mail. Okay, so next question is, where would you find the Kildralton cross? Where would you find the Kildralton cross? Now, you can don't be so broad as to say just the country, of course, but
I want the longitude and latitude.
where would you find the Kildralton cross? Oh, Dan!
Come on.
I'm giving it to Caleb.
Dude,
What? No, Dan got in first.
No, Dan got it first.
Got it. It's democratic. It's on the screen. We can't fudge that. There's no fudging here. Caleb,
Since
you
when
definitely.
has this screen been a democracy?
I mean, maybe a point for a point for Caleb as well. I mean, because he has said "I'd beg," which is technically very, very close to the truth as well. But it's Isla is correct. Tane. Laura. Hope you're well.
Laura.
Dan, you've taken another point. Dan takes a lead. This is good.
Can we stop asking Isla questions that Dan's going to get?
All the rest of the questions are about highwaymen. So, do you want me to take them out or what?
Yeah, but all right, moving on. Let's switch one. What's the next one?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have any other trivia to talk about.
What is the Kildralton cross? It's a rock, isn't it?
No, it's a
it's a rock. It's a cross, but it sits on a rock. And it's stuff. Okay. Next question is, and you've got to get the number right on this.
And as someone said last time, type the numerals rather than typing out the number. It's quicker.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
And this is my favorite number as well, by the way.
There's this one distillery in Scotland that I've called one of the most diverse distilleries in Scotland, and that is, how many spirit styles do Loch Lomond produce? One distillery that produces a number of different spirit styles, from the Inchmoan, Inchfad, Rosdu, Loch Lomond, Inchgower, peated, unpeated, anything. 4's a good guess. It's incorrect. 6 is a good guess, also incorrect. I didn't list them all, by the way.
Right? Can we do places right where we do higher and lower?
What do you fucking think I'm doing?
Ooh. Oh, 14.
Yeah!
Oh, there it is. YouTube audience. The YouTube audience comes through. Look at this. The correct answer is 13. They produce 13 different spirit types at Loch Lomond. I have talked ad nauseum about this distillery on streams because I love their spirit. I've toured the distillery. Michael Henry, the master blender there, one of the nicest salt of the earth kind of people in the world. And just like their spirit, they produce 13 different types of incredible spirit. I would argue probably one of the most interesting distilleries with their Chardonnay yeasts and long and short maturations and grain and malt and everything together. It's one of the most. It is a phenomenal distillery, and you can walk around the distillery. Which when you walk around it, I feel like you're walking vertically and not horizontally. As in, there's lots of little stairways and caverns go up and down different column stills and different parts, and swan neck stills and straight neck stills, and it's fantastic. We've got 5 different codes still in the society. So we don't have 13 codes. I think it'd be a bit absurd, but 5 different codes to identify. Crofton Gear, that was the other spirit type that I was mentioning. Crofton Gear is another one of their spirit types. So yeah, there you go, 13 different ones. Well done to who. I'm so glad it was actually a YouTube commenter that got that one. Even with crap YouTube delay, he says.
Dennis gets a point there. Just to give an update, Dan Will is on 4 correct answers. Then we've got Mark, Paul, Dennis, Paul Leyland and Paul Field, and Dennis all on 1 point. But because Dennis has been second and third a couple of times, he's actually nudging ahead on the tiebreaker there for second place, which let's be honest is first place, because we're not giving that award to Dan Woolley. So
yeah, get out. Why the hell not? Go on. All right, next question.
Okay, next question. We just asked that one. Okay.
Send me some of the chocolates.
There's a spelling mistake in the actual question on the spreadsheet. I'm gonna. That's definitely Andy. But so if you copy and paste it, it's also kind of a mistake. Here we go. Which distillery? This should be fairly straightforward question. This one's one of the easier ones. Which distillery holds the record for Monst? Which distillery holds the record for the most expensive bottle of whiskey to ever sell?
Come on, this is easy.
Think about the most luxurious brand.
It is.
Speyburn Crystal Decanter.
Yes, Speyburn Crystal Decanter. JD
Sydney Whiskey 2000 edition.
No.
Good answer though.
Yes.
Caleb. There it is. Caleb got in first. Well done. It is Macallan. That was an easy question, but it's still one. Well done.
The other contender is the Glenlivet.
Yes.
And for a long time, they used to swap over back and forth.
But I think it was that I'm pretty sure it was that 1926 Fermante
once the two artist labels came out, that changed the whole world.
Has there not been Japanese single bottles, or have they all been in sets?
Records of Japanese would be in sets. Probably the record would be.
Someone did sell the entire card series, and that would have fetched more than a single bottle of Macallan for sure. But I mean, it's yeah. Okay, shall we move on? The next question
Can I ask the next one?
No, we're doing 5 each.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know that. Okay, sorry, I didn't.
It's 20. It's okay. Which distillery ran its stills for the first time on Christmas Day, 1887?
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
Which distillery ran its stills for the first Christmas Day, 1887?
Good vintage.
And Paul's almost close. It's Yamazaki 55-year-old.
Oh, Laura!
Hey, Laura! There's my girl.
Oh, wow.
I want to see Laura win this. I haven't spoken to Laura in a long time.
Yeah, come on, Laura. Let's do it.
Bonus points to Daniel Martin and Dennis coming in close. Caitlin just a split second in fourth there.
And on that Glenn Farkas did a Christmas Day release, but not their first.
I kind of feel that if you're a brand ambassador for the brands, that's the answer, that maybe you shouldn't be, like, we should hobble you somehow.
Wait,
put a
really?
hobble on you.
No.
Okay. The last question in my set is Robbie Burns, Rabbi Burns, Robert Burns, however you want to say it. Robert Burns is a well-known Scottish icon, but what was his role in the whiskey industry? He was a poet. He was everything. He was Robbie Burns, but what was his role in the whiskey industry?
And consumer is not a correct answer for this.
Well, he was a poet, Caleb, but what was his role in the whiskey industry? Oh, Laura! Damn!
Yes!
Ooh, Daniel Martin just missed out.
Pisshead. Yeah, that's also a good answer. Drunk, yeah, probably.
Yes, you're right, Dan.
Yeah, Geisha, yeah. Advertising, no, not advertising. Sorry, Michael. Taxman is correct as well. There you go. So I don't think a quake was a thing back then, Caleb, but if it was, he would have been a keeper. They love his type. Well, they love his type in there. He would have collected all the tax. So Laura got that again. There she is. Done.
Good girl.
I don't ever remember hearing about him being beaten up and attacked, though. So it must have been at a slightly better time that he was doing that job.
Yeah, well, it would have been rough times.
Maybe he softened the blow with a poem, you know?
Yes, he got out of street fights with poetry. Yeah, I've heard that also.
My love is like a red, red rose was actually written for the distillery manager of, Glengoyne to prevent a punch.
I come to take the tax, and they're the whiskey facts.
Yeah, if you believe that, you'll believe anything.
Instead, come pour me a drink, because that will make me think.
There we go. So that's my questions done. Scott or Alex, who wants to take the next set?
I won't, because I'm madly trying to keep up with getting the questions up. So Alex, maybe.
Yes. All right. Because I'm slightly dyslexic, I need to pre-read this first. Which Scottish town is the birthplace of John Jameson, founder of Jameson Irish Whiskey? Go.
Good bloke. Bloody good bloke.
Good bloke.
Good bloke. Bloody good whiskey. He'll go far, that John Jameson.
He might have something. Oh, Lauren.
Hey, I was just going to go belly.
Oh, damn.
How with the tacos?
You know what? Laura has properly pulled ahead on the score tally here. Dan Woolley's got some proper competition here. This is interesting. Yes.
I will definitely say that I did not know the answer to that.
Daniel Martin is also correct. And so is Dennis. Also
Laura.
Look. Oh, and look at this. Look at this. People actually know the answer because of their family history. That's so good. I love seeing that. That's so good.
Well done, team.
Yeah.
You can't write questions for that, can you? Where, where people were born and where people's mothers were born.
Okay.
Well. There's also a typo in this next one, Alex, just so you're aware.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay. That's going to be great for my reading out loud.
It's in the title of the movie.
Name any of the 2 distilleries that released a whiskey as a result of the movie The Kingsman.
Yep, that's the one.
Comments.
Have you got that comment stream coming up?
It's coming.
Paul.
Straight in there. Does anyone know where the soup shop was that they had their little den in?
No, I don't. Where was it?
There's a bonus.
So that was
what's this? The shop where they had their operations was a suit shop in London. But does anyone know the street?
No.
Throwing in a bonus point for Mark Teague right there.
Savile Row. There we go. Well played. But who got that first one?
So just on that, because I was madly trying to change the name that was in the thing, I didn't get a chance to put the stream up. So Paul technically got it first, but he missed it on the stream where Dennis was first. So I'm going to give the point to Paul. Dennis gets a star, but a big star for being there. And I'm also going to give one to Caitlin Cosbeckwith as well, because she got Old Forester when everyone else went to Glendronach. So,
and Old Forester was also an answer. Caitlin, good to see you.
Good job.
Best wishes to you and the team.
All right.
no, not all right.
Not all right.
Not all right.
What am I doing?
Give me 2 seconds.
What was this, Matt? Have I got a moustache, Matt? Is that what's wrong? What's wrong?
No, it's just cleaning it.
Just
he just regularly wiped peat onto his moustache, so he's always got that nice.
Seriously, who was writing these questions in the spreadsheet? Because the
Andy.
grammar is atrocious in them.
You cut and paste.
I'm trying not to. Okay.
This is so easy.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, we had an easy one before. I'd say that we've had a couple of easy ones, which was good. Like, what was
this is a typing speed question.
Yeah,
this is a typing speed one.
Fingers on keyboard, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's see if anyone types out just the abbreviation.
No, you've got a full word here.
Okay.
No abbreviation.
Ready? What state produces 95% of the country's bourbon?
We are talking about America when we talk about the country as well, obviously.
You can only make bourbon in the United States. So which state makes 95% of it?
I've just seen what I wrote there. Yeah, you can tell that I wrote this late at night.
There we go.
Oh, again. Fastest fingers. Texas.
Texas.
I mean, they do make some bourbon in Texas, but I wouldn't say it's 95% of what the American bourbon supply comes from Texas. Yeah, that's fast for Dennis. That's fast for a YouTube comment. That is fast for a YouTube comment. Wow. Yes, that's good.
And it's just, I think 10 distilleries produce 90% of the total bourbon in America.
Yeah.
Bonkers.
Yeah.
All right. Well done, team.
Corn spirit stuff.
This is a tricky one.
This next one, I like this next one.
I like this next one, but listen to the words.
The wording of the question is crucial.
Wording of the question.
Alex, take it away, and Scott, bring up our answer box.
Yeah, you ready?
Okay, here we go.
Ready? Okay. What is the minimum aging time for bourbon?
The wording's very crucial here.
Very crucial.
Answers.
Really? Is there that much of a lag?
Oh.
No.
Yes!
Now, folks, it didn't say. Well, it didn't say. Yeah, it didn't say straight bourbon. It said bourbon.
Yes.
And the answer is
bourbon.
zero. You can have it for 1 second or under. There's no minimum aging for bourbon.
No.
It
But
needs
most
to
people say 3 months because that's enough for the winter. It's not a legal requirement, but most people say that 3 months is the minimum sort of age. However, not a legal requirement.
1 second is a good answer as well, because 1 second in wood.
1 second.
But
Yeah.
So remind us of what the law is. It still has to taste and look like bourbon. You can't release a white whiskey and call it bourbon, can you? You still need to have some sort of oak influence, but the minimum age, there is none for that. Is that correct?
There is a requirement for look and feel of product, just as there is for Scotch whiskey. But there's no actual legal minimum aging time for bourbon. There is for straight bourbon, but not for, and there is for bonded bourbon. There is for other products, but not for bourbon as a word. Yep.
Get it, Bree. Get it.
Bree logging on late. I do like Daniel Martin's answer. The time it takes to fill the barrel, because technically, if you had like a very slow hose, you could filter out the bottom before the top was filled.
And it has to have oak interaction, though.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
So you need a really slow hose, let's be honest.
Can't just put some colouring and some white dog. All right.
Yeah, people have tried.
All righty, I'm going to bring up the next one.
So we got another.
All right. This is.
Alrighty.
Oh no, this is my last one. Ready? How many years did Prohibition last?
In America.
In
Yeah, I was
America.
going to, which Prohibition?
The American Prohibition. How long did it? How many years did Prohibition
you put
last?
that in your questions. But yeah.
God damn it!
You being specific.
Everyone
Everyone on their
My editor
calculators right
just
now.
didn't do.
Ooh, very close, Mark. Very close.
Oh, no. Ah.
Oh,
Ash.
Oh,
very close. Very close. Oh, those numbers are so close.
oh.
It's technically
Guys,
very close.
This is like bad foreplay. Come on.
Oh, Mark Teague, 14, right at the same time as Jim Finnegan. They came through pretty much identical on the timing then. 14 is the correct answer. It ran from 1920, the beginning of 1920 to the end of 1933, which is a 14-year period if counting in the years the time that it started to the time that it ended. So it is 14 years of making it very hard to get grog in the United States. Of course, it was probably just as easy to get weed or anything as it is today, but it was one of those things where it was illegal, so good fun though. Technically 14 is correct, yes.
There we go.
Oh, so who got that?
That was heated there.
That one was Mark Teague, I'm pretty sure, which is his second win of the night. Yeah, quick shout out to Daniel Martin, who's come second or third about 6 times so far. He's knocking at the door.
Yeah. I hate that I can't scroll
Copy and
down
paste
further.
game is strong, maybe.
Just as we move on to
Am I
Scott
the
round
one
of
drinking
5.
whiskey?
I got some rum
I'm
going.
whiskey.
I'm on rum table. Sorry, rum.
It's better than
Just
sport
as a
round
final
table.
reminder that I've sponsored the first prize for tonight this afternoon. I'm giving away a whiskey and chocolate pack, $140. All you got to do is answer these questions. There's been a lot of competition, which is great to see. Just one more time, I'll show what we're giving away. The Gathering Pack, which is our next month's Gathering Pack. And Alex send it one. I can see it. It's fine. But there we are. That's the Gathering Pack that we're giving away, worth $139 this next month's virtual tasting. So here we go. This is the make or break round. These last 5 will be. Dan, I think if Dan's still competing, I mean, I think he's slipping on that.
He's still ahead, and then we've got both Paul Leyland and Laura Hay on 3 behind Dan Woolley's 4. So it's getting close at the top. Mark Teague is on 2. Then we've got Dennis Porfield, Caleb Chan, and Bree Atwood on 1 apiece. God, I'm living out all my sportscasting dreams here at the moment. This is fantastic.
A lost calling, Scott. A lost calling.
We'd like to go around the grounds, and the score in the Swans at the moment is at 3/4 time, 13-7.
Where's the fucking mute button? Hang on. Where is it? Where's the
How do we mute him? Where do I mute? How do I mute Scott? It must be near the camera lens somewhere, right? Okay, so Scotty, do you want to take it away?
Did I miss the Aussie questions? There weren't any, Bree. I'm disappointed.
Well, I mean, there's one. As you were.
Yeah. Right.
All the Aussie ones are. The answers are all too fuzzy to actually have in any historical context. So fine.
That is very true.
There's so many fuzzy answers. You know what? We could do this again. This has been really good. We could do this again with 20 questions of Australian whiskey questions, and I think that'd be a lot of fun actually. But I think we'd certainly put some noses at a joint with that. I'm sure.
Yeah, let's do it. I think that's a really good idea.
Let's put noses at a joint. All right, Scotty, take it away.
No, I can't do it because I'm running the things. So I'm just going to do it.
Okay, well, let's split it up. I'll do the next one. We'll go around us three and take them. I'll take the next one then if you like. Which blended whiskey company released a whiskey called the Last Vatted Malt to mark the end of this term being used? So the Scotch Whisky Association said you can't use the word vatting anymore. Vatted malts, that's an outlawed term, it's confusing to consumers. So which company released the Last Vatted Malt to mark the end of this term being used? That's the question. It's a bit of a curly one, that one. It's not as easy as some of the others, but it's might have a bit of fun. There's a blending company that called something the Last Vatted Malt. No, Johnny Walker and Shivers Regal are good guesses.
Yes!
Compass.
There it is.
There it is. Caleb Chan, well done. That is the correct answer. Compass Box indeed is the correct answer. Valentine's is not correct. Compass Box is correct. Bonus point for Dennis there. Dennis, you're right on the buzzer. You're getting some absolute sort of pickups there.
Well done.
Yeah,
awesome. John Glazer went. They took a load of people out around the town at sort of midnight to mark the occasion, and sort of were very drunk at the point that they cracked open the bottle at midnight, and there was various moments of bottles being smashed because they got a bit too excited and dropped things.
Yes, you do.
And they cleaned it up.
All right, Andy, you want to get the next one?
Yeah,
yes.
take the next one.
One of my favorite distilleries, actually. Really interesting brand.
You already gave away Speyburn as the answer.
Speyburn again.
Speyburn's never had so much airtime.
That's
Folks,
more than you would ever
like
imagine.
Speyburn. I'm just kidding. Don't actually, but no.
It's not Speyburn.
Come on.
Yeah, okay, sorry, go for it.
It's good that my bosses that are from Speyburn, the country that they are based in.
I've just put the question up, so you have to ask the question.
In which country would you find Kiro Distillery, and a bonus point for their main grain of choice?
Kiro? I would have said Cairo. I've always said
Cairo. It's Cairo.
I would have said wrong anyway.
Kiro.
And we have a winner.
Yeah.
Kiro. Oh, look at that. Straight away, Finland. And the bonus point was for their main grain of choice. Oh, look at that.
Bang in with that.
Hey,
look at that. Yes.
Well done, sir. Bonus point.
Is that Jane Ash has said that? I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done.
Man.
Well done.
Dennis, a very close second.
Well done.
Uh,
All right. You all good,
right.
Scotty?
No, give me 2 secs.
God. We need a producer.
Yeah, it's called me.
Yeah, like we said, we need a producer.
All right, wiping the chat. Bring it back up again. Who's reading this one?
Alex, take it away.
Hang on.
I'm on the old 78 degrees whiskey. It's good stuff.
Tobermory produced whiskey under 2 brands. Tobermory and insert answer here.
What? The answer is what?
Tobermory produced under 2 brands. Tobermory and what?
What?
Oh, Daniel
Martin gets his first win of the night.
It's very close. So his question is, it did come in almost exactly the same time as Mark Teague there. Very close.
Yeah,
Daniel Martin.
Now, and we've discussed this on Roundtable before. How do you say it? Does anyone really know?
Let's check.
Well, but what side of the island is from?
Lecheg.
So there's a friend of mine that went there, former colleague of mine. He said that 4 different people from the distillery pronounced it differently. It was Lecheg, Ledeg, Lecheg, Lecheg. You know, it's just
So
Yeah,
Murray,
Lecheg, however you want to say it.
Lecheg.
Murray
Ledeg.
from Brookladdy.
Ledeg, mate.
Murray from
Ledeg.
Brookladdy.
Say
is
g'day
from
to
that
bloody
area,
Ledeg.
and he says it's Lecheg.
yeah. I think
He's
the Lecheg is
The
generally
G's
the
not
most.
quite there, but that's just my Aussie terrible.
Lecheg is generally the most agreed on term.
I mean, and
But-
Brookladdy are really good at bastardizing names and terms of their own, so I'm sure they can bastardize that one as well if they want to. It's in the script somewhere. So let's take. They renamed the whole damn town and the distillery anyway. That was always one of those sort of whatever.
All right.
All right. So there's 2 questions left. I'm going to leave the second last one to you, Andy, because that's definitely one of your questions. But I'll take the last one.
Yeah, you good with that, Scotty?
Well, I'm not good with the question, but I'm good with Andy asking the question.
Well, you keep going in order then. Andy, you take that next question.
It's the geeky question there in terms of fancy numbers. But what is the second biggest selling Irish whiskey in Australia?
The
So-
second biggest.
We can give away the best selling is Jameson.
Yep,
And
So
is this
by-
by volume or by value or?
by volume.
By volume.
Yeah, I
Take a
don't think
guess.
that'll last, though. I don't think that'll last.
We won't last?
No,
Good answers, but not right.
no.
Bushmills, Redbreast, Teeling all appearing there. Not correct. Tullamore, close. Feeling, writers. I'm going to say I hate this whiskey with a passion. I hate what it is, and I hate what it stands for.
And technically, it is made at Bushmills, but it's not the name of the whiskey.
Yeah.
That's the most exercise I've done in God knows how long.
This is proper fight juice. This is fight
Yeah,
juice.
whiskey loving, not
Proper
fighting.
fight juice.
And
Yeah,
unfortunately,
There it is.
we had to work hard
unfortunately,
for that one.
Paul Michael Leyland,
And we have
another
it.
point.
and we have a new leader in Paul Michael Leyland because he's got more bonus points than Dan Woolley.
There it is.
Max Mendy and Brett Wood coming in second and third. But yes, whiskey is for loving and for sharing and not for beating the shit out of each other. And that's why Proper 12 is wrong. It's incorrect.
And Tullamore
There is no
Dew
such thing as a
Tullamore
bad apart
Tullamore
from
Dew
Proper
did have
12.
the second spot for
I
many
don't
years.
think it's going to last. It's a
Who
one-off,
owns it?
one hit wonder.
Who owns it?
with
Who
the-
owns it now? Did Diageo buy it?
No,
Approximate.
Approximately. It's lasting. It's not going anywhere. It's got a massive market cap. It sells millions of cases a year. It's not like it's going to disappear anytime soon. People still associate it with. Oh, it sucks. You know, look, it's not a very good whiskey. In fact,
I
if you
tried
got
it ages ago. I'd love to give it another go.
if you've got a $35, $40 hole in your pocket, then you just go with Jameson. I mean, skip this Proper 12 stuff. Okay, the last
If you've got
question.
$100 hole in- If you got a $100 hole in your pocket, you buy 2 Jamesons.
I think there's a Jameson ambassador role going right now. Just
Yeah,
for
that's
everyone
Kate.
out there.
I think it would be it would be too intense. Like I would be too intense to apply for that role. I would no, we're going to sit down and talk about Jamesons for 6 hours.
At what ABV is it at, Scotty?
At 40, and it should never be anything more than 40.
No, but you want no. It doesn't matter. Don't. Hey, look, okay. No. Okay. The last question tonight. This
Ladies
afternoon.
and gentlemen, get
Ladies
ready.
and gentlemen, the last question.
I don't know this.
This is a bit of a tricky one, but it's we like to throw a curveball at the end here. We've lost Andy. He's probably that's all right. Oh, there he is. Which Scottish distillery was called the Hosh that was in operation today? There was a distillery in Scotland called the Hosh, and is now called something else. We can give some clues out of some of the answers.
I
You can
didn't
tell
know
this
this.
is
So
like
this
a-
was originally the name of the distillery.
Yeah, it was well. It was at one point called this. Yes, whether it was the original. Oh, straight away! Look at this. What an answer! Whoever's saying Glenturret is correct. It is the Glenturret Distillery. Glentarret's one of those distilleries that likes to market itself as the oldest distillery in Scotland, which is of course not true, and is always just more flaff and whatever. And it's also one of those. It's also recently been bought by Lalique, so it's a bit more sort of French bottles. What's that?
Someone wrote AKA
Bin juice. Oh, poor old Glentarret. You know what? Glentarret peated spirit, their Ruad Moor run is fantastic. Very good spirit. I liked Glentarret peated is fantastic. However, yes, it is Glentarret. The Hosh is Glentarret. And it's in fancy crystal decanters forever and ever now, owned by a crystal decanter company. Was once part of the Edrington stable. What a bunch of great answers. I'm surprised how many people were quick off the mark with Glentarret. That was obviously an easier question than I thought.
I had no idea with that one.
We're going to go.
They have nice bottles. Yeah, there you go. That's the point. That's the point. They have nice bottles, nice glass, but I can't drink the glass. That was some great questions, great answers, and really appreciate everyone throwing in. Whilst Scotty's doing the tally here of working out who wins what.
Let me guess. You're going to show the prize again. Show us the prize again, Matt.
I should, Alex. I should. But don't get salty that I'm not sending you one. That's okay. Look, I mean, I can send you one if you want.
Promoting the brand sponsoring this episode.
Hey, wait, you being here? You being here? No, look, we're giving away a tasting pack. You know what? Actually, I might throw another bottle of whiskey in as well for second prize or something. A $200 bottle for someone as second prize or something. I'll see what I can find in the office. Yeah, why not? Why not? You know what? What have we got? Can't or won't? Can't or fancy glassware, lol. Yeah, fancy glassware. Scotty, how are we looking?
All right, so let's go through this. I want to a roll call of everyone who scored tonight.
Hold on one second. Dennis, there should be a prize by channel. Bloody hell, Dennis, that means that you win the YouTube one by default. I mean,
yeah. A quick moment as we jump to our sponsor. Love that, Caleb.
Yeah, exactly. As we jump to our sponsor.
So a quick shout out to everyone who scored points. Daniel, let's go to everyone who didn't score a point but was second or third in something that did really well. So Miranda Marie, Paul Field, Michael. I can't read my writing there, but your last name starts with an S. Well done, mate. Caitlin as well. Bree. Jimmy Finnegan, Max, and Gaston Romero, thank you. You're all honorary members. And technically, because you scored a point, or you in the points, you get to work out who came last out of that and therefore has to spend a weekend with Matt Bailey for last prize.
Gets to spend a weekend with Matt Bailey.
Has to endure a
weekend with Matt Bailey. So apologies to all of those. So let's, hold on. Actually, talk among yourself because I'm going to see exactly what's going to happen here.
I think it's just straight points, Scotty.
Yeah, I know, but I just need to see where exactly people were. Fifth.
Remembering maths is...
So shout outs to people who didn't quite make the top 5 but scored points. We have Daniel, who came second. If we were doing it 3-2-1 points, probably would have won because he came second pretty much every time. They got one right. Dennis Newstead in the same element, although we should probably wake them up for being on YouTube, and God knows what the YouTube delay is. So Dennis Newstead, Paul Field as well. Bree Atwood coming in late, I think in the last 10 questions or so. There you go. Reza's talking, giving us the exact Tobermory and Lecheg pronunciation there. And
winner is.
I think we can go in 5th place. Can I get a round of applause, please? A bang on the table or whatever you want to do. It's a tied 5th. Is Caleb Chan and Janesh.
Well done.
Tied 5th. Well done.
Well done. 4th.
In 4th place is drum roll, please. Mark T.
Woohoo!
In 3rd place,
It's really bad. Come on,
Laura Hay.
Hey,
Laura. Well done.
Considering she came in a little bit late.
Yes, first and second to go now. So I'm going to announce the first because that makes a lot more sense than announcing second because you'll probably figure out who the first. So in first place is Paul Leyland.
Yay!
Well done,
Which
Paul.
means second place went to Dan Woolley.
Dan,
Hey!
Dan, you let me
Dan,
down,
I'll find something to send you. And actually, Andy, do you want to send Dan something, and I'll send Paul the pack.
Easy.
Easy
Dan,
done.
I wanted some chocolates. That's not fair.
Dan's getting some sheepdog whiskey.
Dan's getting some
Worth it.
sheepdog at 200 ml sheepdog.
Oh,
Now,
don't you
that was
dare.
a lot of fun. But before we finish up tonight, I want to have a little bit more fun because if people remember last year's Whiskey Forum, we didn't do trivia as such, but we did fight night on the panel where we have points and someone came away as a winner. So in the spirit of bringing this back, I want to do sheepdog.
Well done, Dan Woolley. Well done.
Just looking around corners. I'm going to
We'll
bring
get a full
in
700 mil.
Oh, here we go.
We'll go fancy.
another little game for the three panelist members. There's going to be quick 10 questions, and anyone else can play at home for this.
I did not
So
sign
we-
up for this.
No, you didn't, because today is a very, very special day, as well as being my very good friend. Yes, you can do thumbs up and thumbs down. Corinne and
Remember
Leota's
that game that we played?
birthday today. It is obviously the biggest sporting event of the year. Starts at midnight tonight, the Lomond 24-hour. So we're now going to play a little game where I'm going to bring up some names, and you have to pick whether this is someone who's won Lomond in the past or
What's
someone
Lomond?
involved. It's the 24-hour car race, the most important sporting event of the year. Or
None of us fucking know this.
yes,
Well,
you
I'd
do.
like to come on a little bit. Okay, that's clearly Lemon. Jeff Brabham. It's Brabham car.
Yes, so Jeff Brabham won Le Mans in 1993 with
He
Peugeot
did.
Sport.
Yep.
Phil Lark
Whiskey.
made whiskey. So which one? And you can choose yes or no.
Okay, all right,
and
okay.
This is how we're going to do it. Okay. So
All
the
right.
first
Okay.
one.
And how do I mute
Is
the other
Rick-
boys so I can win?
No. So Rick Wasmond. Is that someone who's won Le Mans or someone who makes whiskey somewhere in the world?
Le Mans.
So
Le Mans as well.
Alex. So 3 Le Mans. Anyone else, you can play at home as you want to. He's the whiskey distiller and founder of Copper Fox Distillery in Virginia,
It's going to go down, isn't it?
as we all know.
Right.
And Copper Fox are making great whiskey. Do their own floor maltings and at Distillery, I believe. So
Okay.
number 2,
Distiller.
Angela de Orazio. Andy Milne, you're saying distiller.
Oh.
Angela. Okay.
Angela de Orazio,
Yeah, I'm going to go distiller.
distiller.
I have
That does-
not heard of her, so I'm
No,
going
I'm biased. I know who she is, so she's I'm going to go distiller.
fucking whiskey.
Yeah, so everyone gets a
Sorry,
point
it's
there.
just,
Because
like when she was unsure of the answer, you've just given it.
Yeah, thanks, Nat.
You're
Yay!
welcome. Yeah.
Angela
Macmira.
is the
I should
head
have
blender
known
at
that.
Sweden's Macmira Distillery. So this is the round table. Everyone's on a point at the moment.
I should have
Do you get an
known
extra
that.
point for being first to answer?
No.
Oh, fuck that.
Okay.
Renee Leonard,
Ooh.
Sounds.
whiskey maker or Le Mans 24-hour winner.
I'm going Le Mans.
I'm just going to be different and say whiskey.
Le Mans, whiskey. Milne, what do you reckon?
I said Le Mans.
Le Mans? He was the winner of the inaugural Le Mans in 1923 in a Clenard and Walker car, which they don't make anymore. So who said Le Mans there? That was Bailey and Milne.
Yep.
Yep.
So 2 for Bailey, 2 for Milne. Okay. CG Ada, whiskey maker or Le Mans 24-hour winner?
I'm going to say whiskey.
I'm going to go Le Mans.
Oh. I reckon whiskey.
Okay, so Bailey, Le Mans, Alex, and Milne whiskey. Winner of 2004 Le Mans in an Audi R8 alongside Mr. Le Mans himself, Tom Christensen, and Renato Capello. So that's a point to Bailey.
Thank you.
So 3 points to Bailey, 2 for Milne, and 1 to Alex. Paul Corbett, whiskey maker or Le Mans 24-hour winner?
Should I know that?
Paul Corbett.
Do you realise the anxiety you've put on me without being prepared?
I know, it's good, isn't it?
No, it's not good. I'm going to have a panic attack.
I'm going to go distiller. I'm going to go distiller. I'm going to go whiskey.
Oh, fuck it. I'm going to go Lomond.
I'm going to whiskey.
Whiskey, okay.
It sounds like a whiskey name, doesn't it? Yeah, there you go.
He's the head distiller at Clonakilty Distillery in County Cork, formerly of Healing. So 3 for Milne, 4 for Bailey, Alex on 1. Bernard Rubin, whiskey maker or Lomond 24-hour winner?
Okay, Lomond is my answer to everything now, just to make it. I'm out. That's it, Lomond.
Lomond.
However, I am learning right now because I've not heard of some of these distilleries.
I tried to make it as random as possible so people wouldn't be able to.
Successfully done. Yeah.
I know a tiny bit about Lomond, and I think I remember that name. He was an Australian driver. In fact, I'm going to go with Lomond.
So 3 Le Mans, and you are correct because he won in 1928 as a famous Bentley boy.
Aussie.
So it's
Bentley boy.
4-5.
Aussie and Bentley just screams drug dealer to me.
Yeah. Hans Gerard Fink makes whiskey or 1 Le Mans?
Le Mans always going to be my answer from here on out. So
Really?
I'm doubling down on it.
Well, then I'm going to go
Le Mans was.
I'm going to go whiskey. Yeah.
Whiskey.
Does sound whiskey.
Whiskey. Sound confident, Milne. He's the owner and head distiller of the Finch Whisky Distillery in Herdelstadt, Germany.
Good on him. Good on him.
I haven't tried any Finch, but it's quite highly rated from what I gather. Has anyone tried any Finch?
I haven't, no.
Darius Plazweski.
Le Mans.
Whiskey.
Fuck, yeah, it does sound whiskey again. Far out. Le Mans.
Bailey?
I'm going whiskey because I think I know who that is. Yes, I think I know who that is. Yep.
Yeah.
Whiskey.
This one is a tie-in to Whiskey Forum because it was mentioned in the very first forum event this week because he's the founder and director of Bimber Distillery in London.
I feel like Matt can just copy me now and he'll win.
He's one up on you.
Exactly. So as long as he just says the same answer as me, then he's won.
Jack Shenfield.
Le Mans.
Whiskey.
Whiskey. And would you like me to name the distillery?
Go for it.
Isn't he Strathern?
He is Strathern, and he came from Lone Wolf, which is the distilling arm of Brewdog.
Ooh.
So Strathern 2013.
Andy, he copied you, right?
Yeah, I copied Andy that time. Yeah, again.
Yeah, you
I
copied
copied
him.
Andy. Yeah, cool.
I didn't say that, it's just a tactical. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Awesome.
And
is that
this
our
is-
last one, please?
This is the final one. This is the 10th one. Robert Dunn.
Can we just say the last person that gets this wins?
I think Bailey has to answer first. He has to lock his one in first.
I'm going to go with whiskey for this one.
Whiskey.
Yeah.
Milne.
I feel like I have to go the opposite because then if I can at least have a chance of getting
No,
level
you know
with
my
you.
answer. My answer is Le Mans. It's going to be Le Mans to every single question.
I'm going to go with Le Mans.
Okay. So the final question, Robert Dunn, whiskey maker or Le Mans 24-hour winner. I'm actually not sure if Robert Dunn ever made a whiskey himself.
It's
but
whiskey.
He did found the Warrenhype Distillery in 1864 just outside of Ballarat. Ran into some financial difficulties and was bought by Henry Brind, who famously started Brind's Distillery, which at a time was making the only pot still whiskey in Victoria, as well as making some gin and some new make stuff. That merged with, so this was in Geelong, after World War II was all merged together to become Corio. But the distillery that would become was started by an Irishman called Robert Dunn in 1864, about 6 k's from Geelong. And being a Irishman, he was coming outside. There was a lot of Irish immigrants at that time. Ballarat being goldfields, a lot of people chased there. And we think Dunville in the suburb of Ballarat is named after him. But not a particularly successful distillery, but where it became a bit of Australian whiskey distilling history. And did it before Le Mans even was held in 1923. So thank you, everyone, for indulging me on that tonight. That last little bit of fun, which I think we can all agree is the best bit of today, whatever time it is, who knows.
All right, banned from sports. Banned.
All right.
Who was the winner, Scotty?
In that one?
Yeah.
Bailey. With 8 out of 10.
Anyone that actually knew anything about Le Mans out of the three of us as well. Unfair advantage. Yeah.
What does he win? A haircut? Because he needs one.
Damn straight.
I think
Can we bring the ponytail back, Bailey?
I could bring the man bun back. I could, yeah.
Yeah, it's hot. Bring it back. I like it.
just a single bun at the top, I think.
Yeah. I could try it. We could try it live on stream. Yeah.
And on that horrific image.
Welcome back to Hair Roundtable.
On that horrific image, we're going to call it for this afternoon, whatever it is. Thank you very much. We will be back with forum stuff on Monday when we do our first Aussie whiskey get together. I won't be here for Wednesday Roundtable. Are you guys going in with Roundtable on Wednesday?
TBC.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Stay safe in lockdown, wherever you are in New South Wales, Victoria, or indeed around the rest of the world if you're not in lockdown. But just having fun, drink whiskey, be happy, and we will see you all at some point.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Kill the sponsors. But Dan, actually, we need, if Paul wants to get in touch with Matt and Dan.
I've got his details. I've got his details already. That's
Dan, send me your address and I'll send you something.
Caleb, you did really well, mate. Farewell, guys.